Good morning. I'm Susan Pertnoy, here with Barbara Kay. Welcome to Mosaic, Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County's weekly news magazine show.
We're now in our 40th season. Mosaic explores Jewish issues here in the Palm Beaches and around the world.
The Jewish community is experiencing a renaissance. The way that people connect to their Jewish identity is changing drastically, reshaping how we educate and engage future generations of our community.
We'll take a deep dive into the future of Jewish education with the new leader of our community's Center for Jewish Learning.
Then we'll speak with the head of our local Jewish day school on his plans to reimagine Jewish education for kids in the Palm Beaches.
We'll be right back with Mosaic after this brief commercial break.
If it wasn't for the financial assistance, I couldn't come here.
Every little bit helps. She says, I get stronger every day.
When you have a child and you want the absolute best for them, it's twice as important to make the community strong.
There are few experiences that bring a family closer than an adventure in the land of Israel. Enjoy the magic of Hanukkah with your children or grandchildren on Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County's unforgettable, tailor-made journey through Israel's most magnificent sites and cities. It's happening December 22nd to 29th, 2019. Learn more and reserve your spot with the information on your screen.
Live the way you want to live, in the luxury you deserve. At Morse Life's Tradition, choose a floor plan that suits your lifestyle and make it your own. Impeccable service and the gold standard in specialized signature healthcare. Live healthy. Live happy. At Tradition is where the living is easy, every day and in every way. Your home. Morse Life. Tradition.
We're here with Behzad Dayanim. Welcome to Mosaic.
Thank you.
Your role in the community is very interesting. As a matter of fact, you are the very first Chief Officer of Learning for the Jewish Federation. That's quite something. Why did they create this opportunity?
The idea of the Chief Learning Officer for the Federation, I think, came out of a response to a change or a shift in the community to focus on education as one of their primary priorities. And that's something that I think Michael Hoffman recognized fairly early on in his tenure, 3 years ago. The Commission for Jewish Education, which had been a separate entity for a number of years prior, had always had an executive director. And in the process of reshifting the focus on education at the Federation level, they discussed the possibility of merging, and in so doing, developed this position, both to serve as the executive director for the CJE and also as the chief learning officer for the entire Federation.
What's the state of Jewish education in Palm Beach County?
So at this point, I've been here about 3.5 months, and what I've observed is, we obviously have a fantastic Jewish day school serving this community. I've visited a few times and I've been impressed significantly each time I've visited. There are a number of synagogue, supplementary, or religious schools in the area, and a number of programs that are geared towards different age groups throughout the entire community. In addition to members of the community who have differing abilities. So we have a pretty robust, I think, range of programming throughout the community. And I see opportunities for growth in that area, and also collaboration and cooperation.
And how do what we offer in our community, how does that compare to other communities that you've been in?
It's an interesting question. My experience has been that each community is a bit different than the next, and this is no exception. I think that Palm Beach County is unique in that it serves a really diverse population, and you have a significant number of people across the spectrum, particularly in more of the senior age group, essentially. And that's natural given that it's Southern Florida and it's a wonderful place to retire. what we're seeing is a trend towards younger families also, as I'm sure you've noticed. And that's something that now requires that we address the needs across the entire spectrum more aggressively. And there are also wonderful opportunities for intergenerational programming, I think, that are on the horizon that we could explore further.
Yes, I think that's actually critical and would be very effective here.
For sure.
What do you see as the future for Jewish education in this community?
I think, you know, back to the idea of this intergenerational, I think it's really important to recognize that learning is a lifelong process and a lifelong pursuit, and something that is a value that both in the Jewish community and the general community we all hold. It's something that should be accessible to people of any background, whether you come from an affiliated family life or an unaffiliated family life, whether you have differing needs, whether you have a mixed household of interfaith families, whatever it might be, people should feel that there are opportunities to engage in both educational pursuits and in just general engagement in the community. You should feel like you belong. And I think that one of the things that we do well in this community is make people feel welcome. I think it's also something that we can always step up and increase, I think, our efforts to explore how we make people feel comfortable in our environments.
Traditionally, Jewish education has been focused primarily on children. Mm-hmm. Why is it so critical that we include all age groups?
I think sometimes, you know, we lose sight of the idea that children feel that they have to be in school. I mean, that's part of our culture. It's part of an expectation, and sometimes what comes along with that is the mentality that they have to suffer through it because their parents suffered through it. And I think that that's something that really is you know, it's a reality in the sense that that's a perception. The truth is that, like I mentioned before, learning is a lifelong pursuit. And as we grow older, it doesn't mean we're any less likely to gain from the process of learning. And in our environment here, I think it's particularly important to demonstrate that both for the younger generation, but also to help build these relationships, the intergenerational relationships with the grandparents, with the parents, with the children, whether they're here or elsewhere, through opportunities like PJ Library and these other kinds of wonderful organizations and programs that we actually sponsor through the Federation and in other places, but give them opportunities to really demonstrate that learning is not something you just do in school. It's not something you just do with a textbook, that there are wonderful opportunities through experiential opportunities, through blended learning opportunities, all sorts of vehicles that really support continued growth. And that's where you really learn to grow and to expand your horizons.
That's true. And one of these terrific programs is the Milton program that the Federation runs through CJE.
Correct.
Which is terrific. We'd like to continue with you talking about this, but we must take a break. We'll be right back with Mosaic after this brief message.
Coming up, we continue our deep dive into the future of Jewish education.
The tower at Morse Life has standards so high, we had to invent them. Call home a luxury rental community with a full continuum of unmatched high-quality care at your doorstep and a rich, fulfilling lifestyle catered for you. Enjoy every day with a full menu of activities and 5-star services. Elevate your thinking about how you deserve to live now and all the beautiful extras that are yours at the Live-In Tower at Morse Life. It just feels like home. Secure your lease today.
If it wasn't for the financial assistance, I couldn't come here.
Every little bit helps. She says, I get stronger every day.
When you have a child and you want the absolute best for them, it's twice as important to make the community strong.
There are few experiences that bring a family closer than an adventure in the land of Israel. Enjoy the magic of Hanukkah with your children or grandchildren on Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County's unforgettable, tailor-made journey through Israel's most magnificent sites and cities. It's happening December 22nd to 29th, 2019. Learn more and reserve your spot with the information on your screen. We're back speaking with Behzad Dayanim, and we're discussing opportunities for adult programming. As we mentioned, we have the Melton program. Can you tell us some other that are available?
Sure. So the Conversations with Jewish Women Writers is also another program currently being offered through the Commission for Jewish Education, which is now a department of the Federation. And that's actually a very successful program as well, where we invite in authors of different books, and we actually have a facilitated conversation in an intimate kind of environment that discusses both the book and the content of the book and the motivations behind the story, but also through the lens of Jewish values. So we have a facilitator along with the author, and it's a very engaging conversation. I was able to witness one actually earlier this week, and it's one of these fascinating, I think, different types of programming that we offer that complements a lot of the other programming in the community.
Federation's recent demographic study revealed that our Jewish community is experiencing rapid growth, specifically with young families. These families are increasingly diverse and have new preferences on how they want to connect with Jewish life. So how do you accommodate the diversity of all these people?
It's a wonderful question. I think that, recognizing that we no longer live in a generation of card-carrying affiliation. It's much more of an a la carte. You pick and choose the things that are the right fit for you and your family. We're blessed to have ample opportunities within the community to engage. I think that with the growing population, and it's significant, it's over 25%, I think, in the past 10 years or so, one of the fastest growing in the country. I think that really gives ample opportunity for people to avail themselves of what exists and to start envisioning what should exist. We are blessed to have a vibrant day school, which could be a wonderful opportunity for a lot of children who may not realize, families who may not yet realize that it is a viable option. I think it's something definitely to explore, and to certainly work in collaboration with our synagogues and with other agencies that also have children in their religious schools, for whom this might be a nice option. The challenge, I think, and the opportunity on a larger sense is that that's only addressing a portion of the population, and a relatively small portion. The larger population is not affiliated in any way, shape, or form, and is really missing opportunities to engage. So part of our challenge and I believe our vision for the future is to provide opportunities and to help support other agencies as they provide opportunities to engage people where they are, and to find avenues for them to feel connected and to pursue whatever direction their Jewish journey takes them. We should be there to support that process.
As a matter of fact, the CJE is very involved in synagogue life. Why is that so important?
It's critical. We're lucky, that we have so many options in this vicinity. Multiple synagogues, multiple Chabads, multiple avenues for people to actually find a place for their spiritual journey, wherever that might be. And it's wonderful. And as I mentioned before, the challenge is that people are not typically card-carrying affiliates of one particular denomination or another, or organization. So having choice is a wonderful thing. But I think making sure that those choices don't feel like they're in constant competition is really important too. And part of doing that and building those bridges to really offer this community as a collaborative community looking to raise the bar for everyone, is being able to coordinate and being able to really work in an organized fashion to make sure that we're addressing the needs successfully and to identify where there might be gaps and be able to address those gaps.
One of the diverse type of families is that of a special needs family, and you do address that as well. Why don't you tell us about some of the programs you offer?
Thank you for asking that question. The special needs community is very dear to my heart on a number of levels, and I think that that's one of the high points of my involvement, with CJE and the Federation. This community is one of these understated communities that people don't necessarily recognize exists in the community to the level that they do. The CDC recently did a study. I believe 1 in 6 families has identified at least one member of the household with a significant need. That's just a statistic in the larger community. We recognize and have recognized for years the need to address in the Jewish community and Jewish education this community, and being able to help families engage in Jewish life, especially when they're dealing with some sort of a challenge or whether it's a disability, a special need of any type. The YAD program, which is the YAD program, I believe is the Hebrew School for Differing Abilities, is a program that was established a number of years ago based on a grant and has served the population for a number of years, really providing wonderful opportunities for children of differing abilities to feel part of the Jewish community and to engage in Jewish life and their families. And that's one aspect. Another aspect I think that's important, and I'll limit it here, is really supporting the synagogue schools and the day school in their offering of special needs support.
Right, right. There's so many wonderful opportunities for Jewish education. Right now we're going to take a break, and when we come back we're going to talk with the director of the Meyer Prep School. Coming up, we'll speak with the head of our local Jewish day school on his plans to reimagine Jewish education for kids in the Palm Beaches.
If it wasn't for the financial assistance, I couldn't come here.
Every little bit helps. She says, I get stronger every day.
When you have a child and you want the absolute best for them, it's twice as important to make the community strong.
There are few experiences that bring a family closer than an adventure in the land of Israel. Enjoy the magic of Hanukkah with your children or grandchildren on Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County's unforgettable, tailor-made journey through Israel's most magnificent sites and cities. It's happening December 22nd to 29th, 2019. Learn more and reserve your spot with the information on your screen.
Made of memories, but when those memories start to fade, your happiness shouldn't follow. At Morse Life's Memory Care Residences, your loved one is safe and secure with the very best care from our staff who are specially trained to work with memory loss. The greatest luxury of all is the peace of mind that awaits at the gold standard Memory Care Residences at Morse Life. Find the life you love again. Secure your lease today. The Memory Care Residences at Morse Life.
Joining us is Dr. Richard Cuenca, the head of school of the newly named Meyer Jewish Preparatory School.
Correct.
The school is in its first year as the Meyer Prep, and we now are affiliated with the David Posnick School Network. Is that right?
Correct.
Tell us about that.
Okay, great. So Meyer Prep is a wonderful school, 45-year history here with unbelievable teachers and students and alumni. And what happened was this year we came in part of the Posnick School Network, so Meyer Prep is part of that network now, and that network offers over 1,000 staff members and the talent of unbelievable marketers, unbelievable curriculum advisors to the school that otherwise at Meyer Prep perhaps maybe would not be able to entertain. So all of that expertise coming into a small school, we like to say at Meyer Prep now that we're a small school, very warm, nurturing, and loving, but offer all of the excellence of a larger school. So
That's really unique. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
You need to market that. It would be really, it's an incredible resource to have that.
Yeah, it's a credit to the talent as part of the Posnick School Network. Like I said, over 300 employees, over 1,000 students, and also we have in the network through high school. So even though here at Meyer Prep we're kindergarten through 8th grade, the entire journey of K through 12 being a resource to the parents and having that expertise as they're trying to navigate this K-12 world that's changing all the time, we offer them all that expertise here at Meyer Prep. And we were just recently were humbled by the fact that Posnick schools were just rated the #1 Jewish day school in the United States. The first time ever that a Jewish school in the state of Florida has reached that ranking. So that's part of the Meyer Prep brand now, and we're very, very excited about it.
What are the core values of Meyer Prep?
Yeah, so that's a great question. First of all, we're a Jewish day school, and we're very, very proud of that. And we're a Jewish day school, whether in the lunchroom, math room, science, and everything in between. And we really believe that being a Jewish day school gives all of our families that value-added piece that we can offer all the outstanding secular studies, give the students to be able to achieve all their dreams and everything, everywhere they want to go, but do it as a Jewish day school. And we think that's extra special, and the values that come with that. We're a strong, strong Zionist school, and we believe in, everybody reads in the media what's going on college campuses and so forth, and that the students are equipped with the knowledge and the truths to be able to challenge those unfortunate events that are going around the country. So we really believe you can have your cake and eat it too here as a Jewish family here in Palm Beach County, and get the very best in the secular, and then give your children, we believe, a lifelong gift of being part of a Jewish day school and experiencing that.
Well, I now have a question for both of you. Why is it critically important to have a Jewish day school in a community?
I can speak to this, and I'm sure you can as well. I think that in any community, fundamentally, in order for a community to be vibrant, it needs to be educated. And not just educated in general, but educated really Jewishly. And there's no better place, in my opinion, to really infuse those Jewish values and that Jewish knowledge than in an environment that is completely, where it encompasses the children on a daily basis, where it provides opportunities for families to really grow as families Jewishly. And a day school, I would love to see 4-day schools if we had the support for it. I think right now it's a gift to have a school that really addresses such a diverse population as the Meyer does, and to see how much has changed with the addition of their affiliation with the Posnack, I think is only going to increase that ability to address the diverse needs.
You have a lot more tools.
Sure, yeah. I want to, here at Meyer Prep, we're a K through 8, but just to give 2 statistics that kind of speak to this importance. So in the United States last year, 3.6 million students graduated from high schools, private, public, in the United States. Out of that 3.6 million, 300,000, only 300,000 graduated from an independent school, from a non-public school. Out of that 300,000 in the entire United States for community Jewish day schools, number of kids that graduated from a Jewish high school, community high school, is 4,000, a little over 4,000 in the entire United States. I mean, it just speaks to how critical we must have Jewish day schools open so that families at least have the option of choosing that for their family. It's not necessarily right for every family, but a Jewish community is so much stronger when they do have that option available for families, and that's our responsibility to give them a compelling reason to say, yeah, we want to send our children there.
It communicates Jewish vibrancy. In order to really demonstrate to people who are considering this, this community as a community for their family to grow up, these kinds of resources are essential. It really, the collaborative process, working with other agencies, these all contribute, I think, to that welcoming dynamic that we alluded to earlier.
That reminds me of a rabbi once told me that if you go to a community, you see a Jewish cemetery, Jews once lived there. If you go into a community, you see a Jewish synagogue, there's an active Jewish life. If you see a Jewish school, there's a Jewish future. So how can a community not want to have a sustainable, vibrant future?
That's a beautiful way to end the program. Thank you very much for joining us. I think our Jewish future is in great hands.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Mosaic is brought to you by these generous sponsors and underwriters. Learn how you can support Mosaic by visiting jewishpalmbeach.org/mosaic.